2021 regular meeting of the Jacksonville North Pulaski School District. It is our vision to be the model school district where every learner is valued and empowered to become a successful contributing member of society. It's our mission to foster a culture of ownership and accountability through partnerships that create multiple pathways for success. With that, Mr. Moore, would you please call the roll?
Okay. Carl Smith. Here. Daniel Gray.
Here.
Ava Coleman.
Here.
Jim Moore. Here. Rod McDaniel. Present. Dina Tony.
Here.
Lauren Martin.
Here.
Laura Walker.
Here.
All present.
Thank you, sir. You will join me.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. First order of business, I think Dr. Ola, you have a new board member you'd like to introduce to us?
We do. Thank you, President Gray and our board of directors. Good evening. As I'm pleased to recognize our new ex officio board member, Colonel Bernard Smith, the new commanding officer for our Little Rock Air Force Base. So, Colonel Smith, congratulations and welcome to Jacksonville and JNPSD. Appreciate the warm welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
All right. All right, with that, the first item on our agenda, we've got some student recognitions.
Yes, President Gray, Dr. Walker, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, will come forward and present our presenters as well as move forward with the student recognition. Dr. Walker.
Well, good afternoon. It is always wonderful when we can stand before you and recognize our scholars here in our wonderful district. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Mathis to come forward at this time. And Ms. Mathis, as you know, is with the Arkansas Economics. And so she is here because we have a special presentation. And so I'm going to turn it over to her and she will call up our scholar.
Thank you. Well, I do work at Economics Arkansas. We do a lot of professional development for teachers across the state, and we also offer some wonderful student competitions. This is not my first time to come to Jacksonville, North Pulaski, and I feel certain it won't be my last time, Dr. Walker. One of the aspects that we do is we offer a stock market game simulation so students can learn about the world of investing. What we know is that students, as they graduate and enter the workforce, are going to be forced to kind of come to grips about what kind of retirement they want to plan for. And a 401k is often what they're offered. So the students that leave the stock market game program have a little sense of what it means to invest in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Sometimes there's a little luck with the game, but there's no luck with the essay competition that goes along with the game. So every semester there's a national writing prompt that is given from the SIFMA Foundation, who actually is who sponsors the stock market game program. We really don't have any eyes on it until they contact us. So we always know it's a good day when we get an email or a phone call that we have a winner. And Jacksonville North Pulaski doesn't just do state winners. They also do some national winners. Today we have with us Addison Turner, who's going to come up because she is actually our state winner in the elementary division. And Ms. Sprout come up with her. And her mom's coming along. So Addison is going to share with you her essay that she wrote. But first, we're going to hear her essay, and then I'm going to tell you about all of her prizes. Ready?
And Addison's really shy, so I'm going to help her, okay? So go ahead and start. Some people will never achieve their long-term goals because they
She's got to speak up, we can't hear her.
Some people will never achieve their long-term goals because they settle at stopping after reaching their short-term goals. By stopping at their short-term goals, people might not get a job or have a good life. It's important to plan long-term, not just for short-term, in this crazy thing we call life. Also, as I said, both types of goals are needed. Just don't think reaching a short-term goal is the total victory. It is just a step towards long-term achievements. My short-term goal is getting a job at Burger King or a similar business. Burger King pays a good beginning wage of $12 to $18 per hour. My long-term goal is to own my own business, using skills and knowledge from jobs like breaking. These things are important to me because in order to be successful at your own business, you have to start at the bottom and learn to save up in order to buy your own land and create your own business. For my short-term goal, I will need cash flow and a nice energy outfit and a reliable car, insurance, gas, and perfume. My perfume, because I don't want to smell like burgers 20%. To get money for my short-term, I'll need positive upswing stocks like T-Mobile and Next Air Energy. I would invest in T-Mobile's mobiles because it went from $43.27 to $126.56.
$126.56.
In the past 5 years, it has a lot of upside. T-Mobile has hit four out of its last four financial quarter targets and has a meeting of recommendation MRs of 1.1, a terrific number. Another good stock is Need, which went from $30.03 to $77.04 in the same 5 year period. Need has also hit its last four financial targets, and it has an MR of 2 and a definite buy house. StockChase.com Need dividends have grown about 12% over each of the past 5 years and should grow faster because of, of possible tailwinds from reviving presidency. The way the stock behaves, there's no other utility like it. My long-term stock is Pinterest and Apple. Pinterest increased more than 200 over the past 5 years. The company also has noted Pinterest hits 3 out of its last financial targets and has an MR of 2.2. Another long-term goal stock is Apple. It jumped 100% according to the 5 year growth chart. Apple has hit its last four financial targets in an MR of 2. With pins in Apple, I would also add a slow and steady bond to my portfolio. To the bond, ABD will serve also as glass against negative swings and stock choices. ABD is extremely high credit quality portfolio that has 69% of assets and AAA debt, the highest rating possible. For my 100,000 S&G portfolio that will help me reach my goal, I will purchase 125 shares of T-Mobile, 200 shares of Need, and cash them within 2 years. I would keep my long-term stocks for 10 years, and I would purchase 250 shares of Pins, 150 shares of Apple, and 150 shares of ATV. In all, I would spend about 90,000, 95,000, and out of my 100,000. When I sell my short-term stocks and leftover funds will go into buying more long-term stocks and bonds. Mayor Jim Charlie C. Noble has said, you must have long-term goals to keep you from being frustrated by short-term failures. What this means is to focus a little bit more on your long-term than your short-term, because you live with long-term more than you live with short-term.
This is our state winner. We're going to post that essay on our website. So if any of you want to take a closer look at it later, you'll be able to. So I'm going to ask Dr. Walker to present her medallion. And as the state winner, she receives $50 cash. And Mr. Crone, who's her advisor, also does. But Mr. Crone is always so kind, he gives his $50 to her. But that's not all. So in addition to being our state winner, you also are the national, all the states in the United States, second place winner.
Wow.
So Ms. Sproul's going to put on that medallion for you. She's got money earrings, which is appropriate. And I'm going to give you additional $75 from Economics Arkansas and some balloons. And Ms. Sproul has some more goodies. So the SIPA Foundation. And that's not all the SIPA Foundation sent.
Okay, so this is something that's special because you're the national winner, the second place national winner from Jacksonville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
So the SIPA Foundation also sent to her a nice new laptop. And we don't want to leave her wonderful mom out, so the SIPA Foundation additionally sent a little something for you to put in your office.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for allowing us a little time to recognize her. We're very proud at Economics Arkansas, and I know you all are in the district. Keep up the good work. All right.
Congratulations, guys.
Dr. Owen, can you just walk over here for a minute and take your picture? Dr. Walker. Give it. Bring it back. That's good. Here you go.
He wants to take your picture.
Yeah, his little brother, he needs in a picture too. You get that cheese,
Yay, good job.
Thank you, guys. And she didn't know she won it the last time. And she still didn't know what kind she got to take. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations, Aston. We're proud of you. All right, next item on our agenda is the facilities update. Who would like to go first?
So I don't know if all of you guys know who I am. I'm Kristen Wagner,
Yeah, there you go.
project manager on the middle school. I met some of you when we did our tour walkthrough. So just a little update. Right now, we're working on punch list interior and final cleaning. Really hitting final clean hard this week in order to be able to get the teacher stuff in next week. We're trying to get all our final inspections done this week, working towards a temporary certificate of occupancy by the end of this week, so that we are coordinating that move from all the middle school items from old middle school over to the new middle school starting Monday. One of the things that's stopping us right now is the elevator. I've been working closely with Kevin Martin to get that phone line installed so that we can go ahead and get that elevator finalized out. On the outside, of course, it is raining currently. The rain has stopped us a lot in the last 2 months. But we have gotten a lot done in the last week and a half. And we're really pushing on the outside to get it done as fast as we can for you guys. You have to do all the concrete, and then we can pave, and then we can do the landscaping. We cannot get our final CO until all the landscaping is done on the majority of the site. So with that being said, with our temporary CO this week, we will be able to get the teachers in and moved in, and we will be able to get that CO by the end of the month, pending everything going on with Mother Nature. But that's where we're at right now. Anybody have any questions about the middle school?
Questions on the middle school?
You answered my question. It's concerning the elevator.
Okay.
Because I know the fire marshal will not give a CO unless it's operating properly.
Correct. And we did have the elevator inspector out today. He would have given us the final had we had that phone line. So everything else is good to go with that elevator minus the phone line.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I'm Brian Forrest. I'm running the elementary school. And do y'all get a copy of these?
We do.
Yes. Great. Well, sometimes it's nice to have a couple pictures in front of you, and we can kind of get an idea what's going on. As far as our exterior, I know with the middle school wanting to open up, we really pushed hard to get all of our exterior finishes done. And we are just trimming everything out right now. And then Kristen's coming around with the concrete and landscaping and stuff like that. As far as the interior, we're pretty much on schedule. Our elevator is looking to actually get inspected here in the next 2 weeks. I like to use Kristen's experiences as learning experiences for me. And so I'm trying to get my elevator done a little bit sooner than what would normally be. As far as drywall finishing and all that, we've got the 2-story section is pretty much all finished. We got a lot of painting done. We're getting ready to drop all the acoustical ceiling tiles in. All the exterior glass and all that's been in now for a little while. I guess the cafeteria, we are in the process of setting a lot of the kitchen equipment right now. And the stage that we've got, all the tile is up, and so it's starting to look pretty good on the inside. The gym, the large gym area, we are looking to have the athletic equipment starting to put that stuff in here probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and that'll actually start looking like a gym. So, but other than that, we're just cooking along and still pushing for the October 14th date. So.
Question on the exterior drives and sidewalks and asphalt on the elementary side. Is that everything that's tied into the middle school side? Is that kind of been?
It is. All of the site work that the city is requiring is, they've given us the parameters of that. And so all the sidewalks and landscaping and all that will be done where the city wants it. We're actually not going to be too far behind, just even in the playground equipment area. I think that is actually scheduled to be done by the end of next month. So most of the exterior work will be done before school starts, but we're going to be just a couple weeks behind. But the school is, or the city's given us the parameters of what they want to see done, and that's what we're going to give them.
Gotcha.
So, any other questions?
On the elementary school, especially the playground area.
Yep.
Are you gonna have fences up before we open the?
We will have some fences up. It's still kind of up in the air whether we're going to have the permanent fence up or if we're going to have some temporary construction fence. And let me tell you the reason of that. The black vinyl chain link fence hasn't been made now for the last couple months, and it's really hard to find. Our fencing guy bought everything that he needed and has had it in his yard. So I hate to put it up and have something happen to it. So we're still kind of debating on whether or not we want to put the permanent up or if we're going to do some temporary fence. But we will have fencing up when school starts. So, yep. Anything else?
Questions?
All right.
Thank you
Great.
very much. I appreciate it.
Do we have anything else to add, except that we would love to set up the board work session for the next elementaries. Just let us know. We can do any time that works for y'all. And then in the next month or so would be a good time to tour the elementary school.
Okay. I think we're going to discuss some dates for some work sessions here upcoming.
Okay.
And then we can give us some dates on the tour, probably do the same thing there.
Okay.
Any questions for Russ or anything?
I was just gonna say, pass on appreciation, taking down those 2 trees that were stripped of one side, and they were the only 2 trees left out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they look
So I
rough.
appreciate getting those taken down.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. That takes us to our superintendent's report. Dr. Oler.
Thank you, President Gray. Good evening again, Board of Directors. President Gray, if we could, if you would allow, we could go ahead and look at calendars and and firm up a date for the board work session for this month for the project planning. Since we have representatives from WER and Baltimore, along with Dr. Stein.
All right. I'm going to be out of town on the 26th. Our next regular meeting is on the 2nd.
And I spoke with Russ before we got started, and so if this month doesn't work, it wouldn't be a bad thing, or we wouldn't be in a tight situation if we move to the first couple of weeks of August. Just understand that's right there close to the beginning of school, so we'll be having to deal with that.
What day is the first day of school? 16th?
16. What,
9th for teachers. First day is the 9th. You want to do it? We don't have to do it on Monday. Y'all want to,
20th or the 22nd?
what do you have? 26th.
Looking at July.
July or
August, and we could be crowded.
it is.
How about next week, like the 22nd?
I'll be out of town.
22nd.
I'll be out of town.
What about the 20th, Tuesday?
Be in town the 20th?
No, all week.
All week. This is for elementary school work session. Is that it? Is there anything else in that work session?
The only other thing Russ would present to you about 10 minutes, an opportunity for our scholars to participate in finding out more information about the process of building, and he would go into more detail about that. But primarily, the majority of the work session will be about Valvita and Laura Taylor.
Okay. We got 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 8, I should say. But, 20th or the 22nd? Let's say, y'all.
How about the
20th?
20th?
20th.
Okay.
20th good for y'all? 6 o'clock? We're out here, or do we want to be somewhere else? We can be in the other room.
Here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that work? 6 o'clock on the 20th?
Screen the projections stuff onto it.
Yeah, we'll use, was that room 114?
It's big.
So
114, room
I'll
114,
be
20th?
20.
20. Another. Is that room 114?
Mhm.
Do you want to
Probably, yes, ma'am.
And we'll send out a calendar.
While we're on that, I think, I've heard from a few board members that on regular board meetings, I think we'd like to start talking about bringing, yeah, it's just, it's awkward for us to get here and then not eat till sometimes afterwards, depends on what time we're getting out. We never know sometimes, so. Y'all, y'all good with that, like box dinners? We'll figure that out. All right, so the 6 PM on the 20th here at the high school.
Room 114,
July 20th.
July 20th, next Tuesday.
All right. Very good. All right, so, all right, you're back to you.
So for the rest of my superintendent's report, one of the things I'd like to give you a heads up that starting on Friday, you will start receiving a superintendent's report of the different events or upcoming dates that pertain to the district operation. So look forward to that. Along with that, inside the superintendent's report will be a link to a data profile. And so all of the student data, district data, retention data that we have at the district, all of your reports will be added to there. So you'll have one place to go and review data. And so that anything that we present to you during the board meeting will also be located on that data profile. So we developed it just for you all to have our school data, district data right at your fingertips. So please look for that this Friday. Also, in your current board report, you have your board summaries. We will continue to provide those board summaries, but starting in August, we're going to add the ESSER balances and the expenditures that we have in accordance to ESSER 1, ESSER 2, and then the third round of ESSER, which is called ARP ESSER. So look forward to that. And then, of course, if there's any questions moving forward about those funding balances, fund balances, please let me know. We have ordered the sound system for the board meetings. Hopefully it will be in by the next board meeting, but each of you will have your own mic and we'll have the speaker. So not only will we be able to hear each other in here, but our community will also be able to hear us during the board meeting. So we look forward to having those next board meeting. We just want to put this on your mind so you can start thinking about it, and we can make a decision early in the fall. But as we move our current middle school to the new middle school, we need to have a district decision on what we're going to do with the trophies and the memorabilia at the current site, and what you all feel like that we should do with that. So we want to make sure that we have community input as well as district input moving forward with that. So I want to give you a heads up with that. Also, we should have census data hopefully in August. And so I know some of you have read about the census report in the newspaper. We do have more than 10% minorities. And in fact, the projected amount or percentage, according to the preliminary data, is 40.3%. And so there's a chance that we may have board re-elections in 2022. So when we receive that information in the next few weeks, I'll definitely share that with you all, either in my Friday report, or if the board meeting is scheduled around that, then I will provide that information at that time.
Would you go into a little briefly detail that, because it's kind of confusing.
Well, the article talked about that any district in the state of Arkansas, and it really is across the country, if you have at least, and that's what the confusing part of it, because it said at least 10% minority population. And so if you read it wrong or miss a word, then it would appear that Jacksonville is not part of that. But we do have 40.3%. Yes, 40.3% minority population. And so that will mean that If it comes back accurate, because that's the preliminary data, then in August, we will find out if, depending on which zone. So if there's growth or a loss of minority population in a zone, so it could be all zones or one particular zone, including the at-large positions, we will have to have an election for that particular zone or all zones who had growth or a decline in minority population. And so once we have that data or that report in August, we'll be able to move forward and plan for 2022. And they've been sitting on this data, and of course, many of you read in the newspaper that Ohio, educators in Ohio, actually superintendents, actually filed a lawsuit against the Census Bureau so they could gain this information quicker. And of course, the decision was in the favor of the educators, and so they are moving the date for dissemination up. And so we should receive that in August. So, great, thank you. Any other questions?
I mean, we might want to have, once we get that information, Scott Richardson weigh in legally.
We will definitely have Mr. Richardson to provide. But that concludes my report.
No, we're good. Good. Chief can get wet. It's okay.
That concludes my.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We have Assistant Superintendent's report. Who wants to go first?
We come up together.
Like it. Like it.
Talks the loudest.
Hey, she can hold her own, I promise.
I told Dr. Oa sometime they may have to put me in my place, but it's okay.
Oh, no.
But we are teams, so we come up together to do our report. So we have the curriculum and instruction and support services. You have that in front of you. We both are going to take a moment to highlight one area, and then after that, if you all have any questions of us. So I'll go ahead and start first with curriculum and instruction. As you all, many of you know, we had summer school. Normally, we just have it at the middle school and high school, but this year we had it for our elementary scholars because of the learning loss due to the year of COVID. So I am so proud to say that we had a large number of our scholars that we recommended to attend summer school and show growth. So at the elementary level, we had 94% participation. And at the middle school, we had 93%, and at the high school, we had 95% of scholars to participate and to make growth. So we're very, very proud of our staff. Our teachers worked hard, and we also got feedback from our teachers, and they really gave us a lot of that feedback, gave us a lot of insight on our planning for the next school term.
I'd like to piggyback on that to highlight the area that I wanted to was the food services. Along with that, we serve nearly 700 meals, breakfasts and lunches. I would say that's unheard of with providing that for our scholars in our community. So I just commend that whole process that we had this summer because that's really a good thing.
Do you all have questions for us based on our report?
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
We
I
appreciate
got a
it.
question for Dr. Orr. We're gonna have the deal where you put on the tight outfit, everything.
I'm thinking that's a no.
Mr. McDaniel, you are the third person today who asked for that.
That's the
What's that complication?
complication. You can't ruin the surprises, man.
It's probably our board president.
Well, I hadn't heard anything about the complication.
All right, next item is the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled down for discussion? If not, I
Motion to
would.
accept the
Second.
All right.
I have a discussion. This will be happening curriculum here from July 1 to present. It's the Addendum, Latanda, and Dr. Richardson, and Dr. Dillon. For the July 1 board meeting.
All right, so we've got, Their last meeting was June, so yeah, they had, Conda and Dr. Moss were not here, and it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Oh, that was for the special meeting.
Right in the eyes of the
That was the meeting, the vice president
Oh, I got you.
really messed up. So. So that's it.
Mr. McLean. We're gonna have a meeting next week.
But it was superintendent,
Okay,
no.
so with those corrections, we would accept the consent agenda.
Jeff, you want to repeat?
Yes. With the corrections on July the 1st, those present for the meeting that they, I still make a motion to accept the consent agenda with that correction.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next, we've got Act 1599 financial disclosures, new board members, Ms. Martin and Ms. Walker. Dr. Owen.
Well, as with any new board members, we have to, as a district, file these financial disclosures to make sure that there is not any conflict of interest. And so we presented those, or will present those to Mrs. Martin and Mrs. Walker to complete.
They have completed those. So we need a motion, we need to vote on that to accept those? Is that right?
Yes. That's a board.
You guys should understand. Do we need to do it individually, or do we need to do them both together?
You can do them together.
Okay.
It's your.
Yeah. All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept those financial disclosures.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Hey, this is different than what I did.
No, you did the same thing.
No, yours.
Y'all made me late, just saying.
I wouldn't go there. All right, ASBA policy updates, first reading. And we don't have to vote on that, correct?
No, sir. It's just for your information purposes only. You'll get a second reading, but I will ask between now and the next board meeting, after you have read through these, if you have any questions, to please contact Mrs. Arnone or myself, and so we can note those concerns or questions.
Same thing on the student handbook revisions. Those were in your email packet. They're not in your packet in front of you, but you have those before you. All right.
I do have a question about this.
Go ahead.
On 1.21, it talks about the date of annual school board election. Should we even consider that at the time when we come back next month? Because we're not sure about the census.
Well, we can move forward until we actually find out the actual, if there are going to be any changes. And then if we have the information by September or October, and then you all can make a decision.
22 will be the primary residential, so it's be in May. Instead of in May next year, not.
That's a dumb question.
Go ahead.
What are we having to vote on depending on what these results are? You said it would depend on zone or whatever.
Just the federal law says that when there's it's like 200 and something school districts in Arkansas are gonna have to possibly have an entire election where we'll draw straws and all that stuff. Every 10 years, that's what a census does.
Draw straws open.
For our terms, and you remember how when we first got on the board and we draw straws for how many year terms we had. And also, the law says that no more than 2 board members will be up for election in the same year.
Yeah.
Somehow we have 3,
Three.
and we have 0 in 1 year. So that stuff will probably need to get looked at.
Okay, that makes sense. I just missed that.
It's just a census.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
very good.
So if we have another possible change to the handbook, that'd be like,
Suggestions?
yes.
You need to bring it up, and we can put it on. It would have to be in for the reading, I believe.
Bring it up right now.
Sure.
So I would like to look into the possibility, or if it was a possibility that we wanted to look into changing the backpack policy for the students.
whether it's something for the entire district or just elementary wide or not. And speaking with Dr. Oa, he said that we pretty much inherited what PCSSD as far as like clear mesh backpacks. I don't know if we've ever like actually looked into that or gotten feedback from our principals or teachers to see, you know, if it's a safety issue, you know, maybe how they feel about it. If they see no obstacles or problems with it, I don't know why would they.
So the current policy is that we have mesh or clear.
Clear mesh.
And they don't hold up, and
No,
they're
they
buying
don't.
like 10 backpacks a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never saw the benefit of it. Somebody wants to hide something in that mesh backpack.
You're gonna have it, yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, to me, if it was overwhelming that our teachers felt unsafe with that, that they do like to have the policy, then I would be fine keeping it in place. But to me, if they have no problem with it, then I see no reason in trying to keep it.
So President Gray, if you would like, we can actually put together a survey and survey the staff members. And if you would like, we can go a step further and provide that survey to parents as well to see, and then we can present those results to them.
Sounds good. Sounds like a great plan.
Not just the teachers, but the
Support
staff.
staff.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
everybody, yeah.
Bus drivers particularly.
Yeah.
Might have something to say about that.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
All right. Very good. Next item, we got federal assurances. Statement of intent and assurances as presented, Dr. Owen.
As we do, or we have every year, we have a list of assurances, and this is our first round of the federal assurances that outlines what the district will ensure moving forward. And so that is before you, and we'll answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Basically says we'll spend the money where we said we spend the money in the right categories.
And we will follow the appropriate regulations as outlined in the federal guidelines.
I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Or disapprove, so they want to do that, I guess. All right, a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. All right, next we've got a personnel, and before we go to personnel, we've got a addendum on your table that we need a motion to add the addendum to the agenda.
I make a motion.
All right, we've got a motion to add that. Second, any discussion on adding the agenda or the addendum? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we've got that added. And I believe any discussion on personnel will need to be held in executive session, and I believe we do have a need to go into executive session to discuss personnel. All right, so we will move into executive session, and we will return shortly.
So either way.
Sure, that'll be their choice. You know,
It won't turn. It has no water pressure. It might be nicer if you go. Never.
So you could still be able to do that. Yeah. So I say.
What's that? Me?
Yeah, it was.
Well, they have several areas. Start out. It's the service.
He must be missing me. I'm sorry.
this 16-year-old, he'll be a junior here. Okay, we are back in open session. Call the meeting back to order. Next item we got is the personnel. Do I have a recommendation? Dr. Oa, you have a recommendation for us?
Yes, sir. Our recommendation from the district is that you approve the list of personnel hires before you, or do you want to do the addendum first?
We do it all together.
All right. The personnel report, and that's our recommendation from the district.
All right, we got a motion or a recommendation to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any, all in favor? Opposed? All right, that passes. That's it, right? We're good? That's it. All right, next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
So moved. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Because we did it one time.
Yeah, we like to get in and out of here fast as we can. You been here for
Yeah, I told you
We're gonna use this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Stop there.
Hey, Daniel, have a good ride home. Have a good ride
I need a
home.
towel.
At least it's what our training.
All right. Had a good one.
Because.
How are you?
But anyway, I know that they keep it.
Oh, yeah. It's going on.
Yeah, I was still.
Oh, right.
Cut me out of deal.
Hey, he did me a favor.
Huh? You did think so?
No, if we can just work on that survey.
Okay.
Which one were those? That like 4 figure.
I will make you promise that I try to come off as much as possible. So maybe follow this way, keep from there. So I want to be out the show or area looking back. We'll see if I can live tonight.